Woohoo! Days and days later, we are back with the lives. This is the book we are kind of discussing today. There's a link that you'll find in the comments. And oh, by the way, hello everyone to whoever it is that is listening. I hope you are well. And let me know in the comments how things have been for you. Have you read the book titled over here, The Autobiography of a Yogi? Are you spiritual? Are you religious? At all? So today we are going to discuss this book, and there's a link, a blog link. You can go to that blog link to have like notes of this entire life. As in case you miss something or my accent is too difficult for you or whatever, you can just check out the blog to get the highlights. I mean, I don't recommend getting just the highlights. You should actually read the book as well, but worst comes to worst, you can at least have the highlights. Hello, Noor Khan. I'm glad you've been good and I'm happy to have you in the live. Okay, so let us just go into the book. So, this is the book of a yogi. Like the title itself is supposed to tell you what the book is going to be about. That is something spiritual with hints of religious overtones to it. And what a yogi is yogi is a predominantly Indian term, and what yogi means is somebody who is enlightened, right? So any person who has attained enlightenment by whatever means, that person's a yogi. We have one yogi, that is Paramahansa Yogananda. He is the one who popularized yoga and Kriya Yoga. It's not yoga, by the way. Those of you who are not Indian, you probably are wondering why she's mispronouncing it. It's yoga. It's anglicized to yoga, but yeah, it's yoga. So Kriya Yoga and all of such spiritual practices to the West. So the first time East went to the West in terms of spiritual education was via this organization. Allegedly, that's what he says. I mean, I don't agree with that bit, but okay, he did popularize becoming the Indian ascetic globally. So he has written a story of his life, and in doing so, he has shown us his path of enlightenment. Now, when we talk about path of enlightenments, we have different kind of religious answers to this, whether it is the answer by Gautam Buddha, or whether it's the answer by Hindu deities, or whether it's the answer by Christian deities. Like almost every deity in existence has a path of enlightenment, which is what the religious books are about. This book, however, is not a religious book. That is what makes this book something that you could recommend, because religion has this inherent issue of indoctrination as well, which you can avoid with books like this. So I'm going to address some comments. K. Satyanarayana, I hope I got your name right. Good evening, my friend. Yes, good evening to you too. And Prashant Shukla, I'm happy to see you again, sir, after so long. It's been so long. Miss you in the comment section for real. Coming back to what the book is about, and this is where you can go to the blog in case you are too busy to sit through the video or my voice is too annoying. I have wisdom teeth coming in. I can't really speak, it hurts. So sorry for that. So let's just jump into the book, right? So the book is, as I said, his path to enlightenment. And even before he was born, allegedly, his arrival was prophesied by Lahiri Mahasya, and he. It's like just like the coming of a god or a coming of a goddess. His arrival to planet Earth was kind of prophesized, and he was born, and then he grew up with this unbelievable curiosity that he was not able to convey in words. So he used to cry a lot, right? And I totally relate to that, because when you're curious, when you have a lot of questions and then you have no answers, you feel like, oh my God, what the hell? So, very relatable. You want answers to questions that nobody gives you answers to, and it's frustrating. So, he experienced this when he was a baby, he experienced this when he was a toddler, he experienced this to such an extent that he was like, I am running away from home. And that's exactly what he does. And a very Tom and Jerry-esque sequence follows, which is where, good storytelling comes in play. This is where he runs away from home. His father goes to find him, his brother goes to find him. They have to bring him back, and he's like, no, I'm not going to come back. So, uh, primarily, this is what he wants. He wants answers. And then his young mind realizes, I am not going to get answers from normal sources, right? So I'm going to have to go to sources that would actually give me answers, like, say, gurus or teachers or sages. And that's what he does. He goes and talks to every sage he finds, and he learns from them. And in doing so, his seek and ye shall find journey begins, right? And this is where I believe one of the first lessons from the book comes in play, which is seek and ye shall find. Unless you're not looking for something, it's not going to magically come and like drop on your head, right? Like many people have complaints about, I don't know what I want to do with my life, I don't know where my life is going, I have been told what to do all my life and that sucks, and just complaints, no action. So this is where I think the first lesson from the book comes in, which is don't accept what is given to you by fate, destiny, parents, school, society. Ask instead. Ask questions, ask as many questions as possible, and maybe someday you're going to get answers. And that is what happens with him. He keeps asking, like he goes to an extreme, which is he runs away over and over and over again because he wants to go to the Himalayas, and his family does not want him to go to the Himalayas. Uh, and in all of these journeys that he mentions, he meets the variety of characters that we come across in the Indian religious sphere, right? Men who claim to be immune to tigers, women who claim to have a direct hotline to goddess Lakshmi, right? All of like the entire variety. So it's hilarious in that we look at it, we adults, we're going to look at somebody with so much skepticism when they tell us, I can fight an alligator with my bare hands, or uh, I can drop kick a tiger just like that, right? And here you have this young child who's looking at things with amazement. He's listening to these things and he's not seeing the skepticism, the cynicism. He is seeing, oh, how can I become like this? So whatever this person is imparting, he's learning. So this is the second lesson, which is you're gonna find ridiculous shit everywhere. The real enlightenment is in learning from everything that comes on your path, right? So the reason why uh, I'm specifically mentioning things that you can learn from the book is I realize the book has some religious connotation, some religious connotations, and personally, I'm not a fan of organized religion, primarily because of the things that it promotes. Not religion, organized religion. Again, listen to the words. There's a big difference there. So, moving on to his journey, he goes on meeting gurus all over the place, and finally he finds Swami Yukteswar. And everyone else was so awestruck by Yogananda's aura. Yogananda at that point was referred to as Mukunda, that was his birth name. And then he was given the title of Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, which is like the divine swan, or the man who has attained enlightenment, the guru who has attained enlightenment. So Mukunda finds Swami Yukteswar, who is the first person who is not awestruck by Mukunda's aura. So this one is actually interested in teaching him rather than being like, oh, you have too great of an aura, I have nothing to teach you. And so he uses like a very firm, very disciplinarian style of teaching to teach this child Kriya Yoga. Now, Kriya Yoga is it's a gray area. Okay, it is, if you believe in it, good for you. If you are a skeptic, you're gonna find like millions of places to roll your eyes and be like, what the heck, right? So this is where one of the best things this book has given me comes in play, which is faith. I realize that in the environment that we live in these days, which is information everywhere, even if you are religious, even if you are not, there is this feeling of hopelessness. Like we feel as if it's our society is bad. There's so many awful things that are happening all around us. We feel so helpless. We feel so unproductive. We feel as if there's so much we could do if only we were given the opportunities, or if only the world wasn't so bad, or if only this fucking system of capitalism. So many ifs and buts, right? We ultimately feel hopeless. And that is where, as I said, the biggest teaching of this book comes in play: faith. Faith is one of those terms that has become associated to like praying to God and things like that. And I think that is where this hopelessness comes in play. The book wants you to have faith in the divine. Now, divine can be anything. For me, divine is nature. For you, it can be a deity. It could be whatever God you pray to. It could be science. It could be quantum mechanics, whatever. It could be the people in your life. Like you can have faith in the person you love unconditionally. Faith. This is it. And to me, this was the biggest gift of this book, faith. I thought I was faithless. I really did. And in reading this book and asking the tough questions, which is why I'm recommending that you read the book, because you will ask yourself certain questions at points where you want to roll your eyes and be like, what the shit is this trying to tell me? Because yes, there are places where the book gets a little complex, a little complicated, Kriya Yoga being one of them. So Kriya Yoga is when radicals in your blood get oxygenated and all of that. And I know you have no basis to believe me or believe Paramahansa Yogananda or whatever, or whoever. But if doing a few breathing exercises, if stretching your body a certain way, like say 10 minutes each day, is going to help you get a better physique, why not? Right? So yeah, that's where I'll need you to have an open mind with Kriya Yoga. So Swami Yukteswar starts teaching Mukunda, who at that point is still Mukunda, uh, Kriya Yoga. And Mukunda now begins to learn what it means to exist, what it means to really exist. And that is where the fourth thing this book teaches you comes in play, which is existence, reality. We have a perception of reality, and my fellow peoples, matrix, right? Sorry for taking it from religion to matrix, but what was matrix was like a utopia, a technological utopia that was actualized, right? And you have all this like things happening in the movie, but ultimately the premise of matrix was a technological utopia where your perceived reality was actually, spoilers if you haven't seen the matrix yet, shut the audio. The perception of reality was based on a technological simulation, right? So this is what the book does. The book tells you and kind of takes your perception of reality and tears it and asks you to reconsider what reality is. And I get how that sounds hokey and how that sounds weird and how that sounds hippity tippity. Like, I'm an atheist, okay? I realize how outlandish this sounds. But stick with me for a moment, right? So he tells us that there are three planes of existence. The first plane is like the physical body, the physical realm. This is where we live our lives, our gross bodies doing gross things, living the good life, all of that. We are in the physical realm, right? Then we have the astral realm. Now, my fellow Naruto weebs, if you have seen Naruto, uh, there is this plane that warriors went into. If you have seen Pixar's Soul, where people who are focused on their craft, people who are so focused in doing something, like somebody giving a kick-ass presentation that they loved to make and deliver, somebody playing an amazing song, somebody playing sports dedicatedly, like this range, this state of being in extreme concentration, right? And just loving what you're doing. When you get in that state, this is something that people with consciousness, positive consciousness, can go to. It can happen to you via meditation, it can happen to you via you practicing a skill regularly for a really, really long time. That's technically you meditating. You're concentrated on doing something, you're doing it so well, and you're so engrossed in doing it that you escape to the astral realm where the world around you ceases to exist. The physical world around you ceases to exist. Somebody can be playing drums in your head and you don't care, you're doing your thing. So that is the astral realm. Many people, uh, and again, this is me coming out of the book into the world of research and stuff like that. Psychedelic mushrooms, psychedelic drugs, religious rituals like the peyote rituals, the rituals from the Tanzanian tribals, uh, rituals in many ancient African tribes where they ask you to drink these herbs and you experience a different world. That's the astral realm. I am not asking you to do psychedelic drugs. Okay, I personally don't do drugs myself because normal head itself is so crowded. Just imagine what happens when you do drugs. I can't. But this is just a reference point that when people who have done psychedelic drugs talk about escaping into a zone, that is the astral realm. When people who are really passionate about what they do talk about being in the zone, that's what they're talking about, right? So another recommendation, watch Pixar's Soul. They show the astral realm. It's amazing. And if you have seen Naruto, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When Naruto talks to people in that yellowish color thing, yeah, that's the astral realm. And then finally, you have the causal realm. Causal realm would be your fifth dimension. This is where I'm going to bring up Interstellar, which is one of my favorite movies. Especially the scene where Matthew McConaughey goes into that fifth dimension, right? Where time, space, uh, matter, uh, gravity, nothing really matters. And all of it exists in this state of equilibrium, which is how he could send a message to his daughter S.T.A.Y way in the past, even though he's way in the future. Uh, this is where he realizes the solution to mankind's problem, which was there's so much dust that plants had stopped growing. So if they didn't escape Earth, mankind and animal kind was going to die. So he uses that plane to send a message to his daughter, and that's where he says, "Love, Murph, love. Love is the answer." So if you haven't seen Interstellar, I check that movie out. I think that movie, especially that entire sequence in the fifth dimension, explains what the causal realm is. Causal realm is your supreme final being. You can call it your spirit, you can call it your soul, you can call it whatever you want. This is not about labels. This is about expanding your mind to bigger, better possibilities, right? And again, you want to be open minded, no matter how crazy something sounds. Because when AC, alternating current, was introduced to the Royal Academy of the Sciences back in the day, people booed the scientists off, right? They were like, ah, why do we need alternating current? Direct current se kaam to ho raha hai. We are able to do everything with DC. Why do we need AC? We know why we need AC, right? AC current, so much more powerful and different than. Let me not go into that tangent because I. So every idea seems outlandish when it is introduced to you first. If you're close minded, you are going to be one of those embarrassed scientists who failed to realize the possibilities that was offered by alternating current. So you don't want to be that person. Be open minded even to things you're very cynical and skeptical about. I mean, I'm an atheist, okay? I am talking about a book that could be perceived to be supremely religious. So if I can do it, so can you, right? So have an open mind and see this. So as Swami Yukteswar teaches Mukunda uh, all of these uh, things about reality, he comes to realize that okay, there's so much to existence that I didn't know. There's so much to existence that people don't know about, not just in my country, but people abroad as well. Because man is one. And almost all religions around the world, and to his credit, he doesn't care about religion. While he does use one predominant religion, because he dwells from a country where one religion was and is a majority, he gives you examples from religions across the board where the art of Kriya Yoga is taught, just using different terms, just using different languages, right? So he realizes that people don't really know the potential of existence and their own existence. And if I were to show them that, if I were to show them the power of their existence, their world could and would change. And he does exactly that. He launches lots of foundations around the world, launches schools, uh, becomes the person to go to about yoga and meditation and the art of again, this is 1940s and 50s. Okay, so the law of attraction, secret, all of this didn't really kind of exist at that point in time. And yes, as Ajay Kumar Saraswat sir says, definitely the Yogada Foundation has some of the best initiatives out there. And if you are interested in the blog, I have linked all the foundation links, so to speak. So if you want to sign up to any of their services for guided meditation, for Kriya Yoga, all of it, you can check it out. Again, these are choices that you have to make for yourself. And uh, anyway, let's come back to the book. So he realizes that he can teach this to the world, and he does just that. And it becomes popular everywhere. And that is predominantly where the yoga obsession began in the United States from Paramahansa Yogananda, right? So the fact that this Indian guy went to a country that was already struggling with a lot of social issues, predominantly pertaining to culture and color and things like that. This guy goes from India to this country and convinces all of these people to trust whatever it is that he's teaching. I mean, he definitely had something poppin' to teach, right? So some of the things that I took away from the book was, as I said, faith. I got to realize that I do have faith in my life, and we do need faith in our life. That is why religion is so comforting. It provides you with faith. You don't just have to find faith in religion. You can find faith in nature and in science, like I do, right? So have faith, Second is self-realization. You should have self-realization. Like I have self-realization about so many things, and I have made choices in accordance to that. Like I would be a shitty engineer because it takes me a long time to understand technological things. Now, while that might not be a bad thing, when you talk about engineering, where solutions to problems kind of have to be, figured out like that, my process would kind of create a lot of broken, fallen bridges. You don't want that, do you? So I realized that even when I was in college, and I was like, yeah, ain't doing any, ain't sitting in placements. We're gonna find out what we are good at. So you have to ask these tough questions to yourself before you project tough questions to others, before you judge others. Just judge yourself. Ask yourself tough questions repeatedly and answer these tough questions. And then you're going to have a self realization state wherein you are not going to be demotivated by the answers to the questions that you kind of come up with. Then the third thing, happiness is a choice. Make it. So many people choose to be unhappy. And there are a lot of adages, like if you've read Bukowski, if you've read Dostoevsky, if you've read all the classic books, they all lament about how smart people are sad. They don't have to be. They chose to be sad because they chose to see the problems in the world. They chose to see the awfulness that the world projects on us and ignored all the nice things, all the positive things. There are people who are smart and happy. So don't use intelligence as an excuse to be sad. This is one thing I've observed a lot online, where people are happy about, people are proud about being sad. Don't be sad, be happy. Choose to be happy. Like it's so much better than being sad, right? Just try to be happy. It's much better than being sad. Then the next thing that you learn is, or that I took away, was divine love. So love is one of those terms, and me and four other people, we have co-written a book called Infinite Shades of Love. If you want to read something non-fiction and something autobiographical, you can check out our book, Infinite Shades of Love, where we discuss this. We have put like these weird rose-colored filters on the word love, where love could be what your mother feels for you, what you feel for your lover, or what you feel for this one person or one entity. I mean, that's okay. But love is, again, I'm going to cite Interstellar and that wonderful scene in the fifth dimension. Love is the answer, right? I know it sounds hokey. I know. Like, take it from a cynic. I am a cynic. But love is not that hard. Okay, it's so easy to love someone. You just have to put aside your own personal lamentings and your conditions. It becomes so easy. Life becomes so easy. Like, take it from somebody who struggles with being hateful, who had issues with being hateful in the past. It's not a good place to be at. You literally gain nothing from holding on to stupid grudges, from holding on to things that people did to you out of whatever reason. There is nothing to gain from that place. However, if you substitute that place with feeling love, what you have is a semblance of peace. You're not wasting your time and your energy on stupid shit like hatred or like petty jealousy of people who would not have any impact on your life whatsoever. So have divine love, right? Practice it. Love without conditions. Don't let change kind of change your love. People change all the time. Your love for them should not change, right? Uh, Pure love, unfiltered love, that's just beneficial for you. Then the next thing I took from it is live and act with purpose. And this is this is a toughie, because what is my purpose in life is one of the most difficult questions you can ask yourself. Your purpose in life could be anything, right? Your purpose in life could be to do nothing. I mean, it could be a host of things. And 99.99% of the time, your purpose is not going to appear to you out of thin air. You have to discover what your purpose in life is for your own self. So discover what your purpose in life is, and then act on it. Don't sit on it. Don't wait for your business partner to join you. Don't wait for that college acceptance to send you into whatever. Like, just act on whatever your purpose in life is. We live in the age of information and infinite possibilities and networking, right? You don't have to wait for people to come to you anymore. You can go to people, you can go to opportunities. So live and act with purpose. Then something else you can take from the book is serve. You should serve mankind. You should serve nature. You should serve, and this is the book. You should serve God. Now that is a choice you can make for your own self. I choose to serve nature. So serve people with a purpose, and that purpose is being nice. Okay? Become as unselfish as you possibly can, uh, and have this intention of not getting things back. Okay, like, I haven't really served people that much in my life yet, but every time, I'm telling you, every time I've helped someone, it has come back to me in some form or another. Not that help people with the initiative of getting something in return, but you do get something in return, right? One thing you get for sure is you get the trust of this person you helped. And whenever your life blows or goes to the shit, it happens to everyone. Everyone's life has this point where shit hits the fan. And when that happens to you, people who trust you, these are the only people that are going to show up for you. Not casual friends, not, you know, oftentimes not even family. People who trust you, these are the only ones who are going to show up. So if not anything else, serve people to gain more trust in not just others, but kind of having others trust you as well. So serve, right? That is another thing this book that I took from the book. Then you have the power of thought. Now, there is this wonderful quote. I don't remember who said it, but the quote goes, "You are the Michelangelo of your own life." Michelangelo was a famous sculptor, painter, artist from the Renaissance period, and you are the Michelangelo of your own life, and the David that you are sculpting is you. David is one of his most famous sculpted pieces. You can just Google it and see David for yourself, because it involves nudity, and I don't want that on the live right now. So, you are the Michelangelo of your own life, and the David that you're sculpting is you, and you do it with your positive thoughts, actions, and words. That's it right there, right? What makes Michelangelo so different from all the other artists? He picked up a chisel, he took a marble, and he carved a naked man out of it. Right? Anybody could have done it. But why didn't they? So that is the power of thought. When creativity, which is something that all of us have within us, okay? Creativity has this very weird, obtuse definition, which is nowadays associated to the arts. That is an incorrect definition. Creativity is everywhere. Inspired thought, that is creative. Okay? Everybody has inspired thoughts. Every single person. So, the power of thought is when that inspired thought, when that creative thought kind of goes, oh, hello, in your head, listen to it. and act on it. That is what the power of thought is. Then he tells us how will is the dynamo. So, to power your thoughts, you need to give it energy, right? And to give it energy, you need to give it positivity. uh, Positivity does not mean toxic positivity, which is ignore the circumstances and just live in a weird bubble of affirmations. No, this is actual positivity where you self realize your abilities, where you self realized your resources, where you self realized the opportunities present in front of you, and then you're like, act on it now. So that is make will your dynamo. Have the will to put your thought to action. Okay. Then there is an affirmation that I took from the book, which is you are in charge of your destiny. Now, almost everyone tells you your destiny is written, it's predetermined, all of that. This book tells you, nope, your destiny is something that you make on your own. So there is this movie called movie or TV series. I don't remember. It's Korean, and it's called My Sassy Girl. It has this dialogue in it, which is destiny is the path you build to the one you love. Again, this is a rom com, but I feel that it summarizes this situation perfectly. It's a destiny is a path. Okay, destiny is not something that's written in your hands. It's not written in the time of your birth. You can believe in all of those things. I'm not demeaning your beliefs like at all. But ultimately, destiny is in your hands, your mind, right? That is something that helps you control your destiny. Everything around you that happens, it's happening because of your mind. And again, you are probably going, oh my god, so did I will that accident into existence? That's not what I mean when I say everything that is happening around you. I mean everything that is being put into action by you, that is happening because of your mind. Your mind enabled you to make certain choices. You acted on those choices, and now that have those have become your reality. That is not your destiny, that is not bad luck, that is not God's will. That is your mind that made a choice, and you have to realize that fact for yourself. You are in charge of your own destiny. Okay, and your if you want to succeed in life, you have to have things like this sorted from the beginning. Otherwise, you're going to find many petty things to blame rather than grow, right? So, realize that you're in charge of your own destiny and have a strong, unbreakable will that is going to push you to succeed. Then, something else I learned is fear. Fear will literally drain your energy. So, ideally, you don't want to have fear. Now you're probably going, but Batman told us fear drives us. And I'll tell you, Batman is not the right person to take advice from, because this is a man that dresses as a bat and attacks people. Criminals, but attacks people. Not the right source for getting advice from, right? But yeah, I love Batman nonetheless. Fear helps you stay alive, yes, but fear also drains your energy. So what you can do is you can compartmentalize fear, right? Fear of survival, okay, good to have. It saves you from walking into a lion's den. But fear of doing things, and not good to have, because biologically, when you experience fear, your body kind of shifts into a different mode, right? Your body literally shifts into survival mode. To do that, your body has to release certain chemicals, it has to kind of dilate nerves, it has to send more energy to defensive parts of your body, right? So, literally, fear is going to drain your energy, because your brain is going to redirect resources to places where you need to use organs for survival. Ideally, you don't want to waste energy. You want to conserve energy. You want to use that energy and redirect it to positive things, right? So fear in thought actualization and in execution of tasks is only going to help you improve in whatever it is that you're going to do. So don't feel fear. uh, Over fear, he recommends, Yogananda recommends trust, right? So go with trust over fear, trust in your abilities, trust in the abilities of your comrades or your companions, trust in the world around you. Trust over fear. Good thing to learn, because every time I go online these days, my God, it's complaints, and I don't make it better. I complain a lot on my feeds myself, and I get that. But I mean, it takes time to change. I'm working on it. Moving on to the next thing that I have learned from the book is use failure as the fodder to succeed. So failure happens to everybody at some point in time. It's like a rite of passage of sorts. If you are alive, you're going to experience failure of some kind. And when you fail, don't let it overwhelm you, because many people uh, use I failed the last time I tried as the excuse to never try again. And I get it, it's such a comfortable place to be in. To a large extent, that's where I am at right now as well, with my endeavors to go to Japan, with like a nice cushy job. And I failed once because they did not open scholarships to Indians. I'm salty about that still. But that should not have stopped me from applying to other places, but it did, right? And I used this fear of failure to not seek my path to success. That's on me. That's not on the Japanese government or the Indian government or the coronavirus pandemic. That's on me. I stopped, right? Nobody made me stop. I did. So when you do fail, what you have to do is you have to go in self-realization mode. What did I do well? What did I did not do well at all? What can I change? What can I improve? What was so bad that I have to like get rid of it forever? All of that. So use failure as the fodder to succeed. Then another thing to learn from the book, many things to learn from the book. See, this was the book that was on Steve Jobs' devices for 40 years. He used to read this book every year, and this is the book that was kind of given out on the day of his funeral to all the attendants, because he took so much from the book. And there are many others. I think Virat Kohli recommends it. uh, so many other successful people I've heard recently. That uh, monkey guy, Aluwale, I think, Ranveer, he also, I think, recommends this book. So lot of successful people recently as well have recommended this book. In the past, definitely recommend this book. People have recommended this book because it does teach you a lot. So something else I learned from the book is take initiative. Okay, don't wait for people to ask you for help. Offer it. And I have told this many times, like my DMs are open. If you DM me for help, I'm going to tell you I'll be available on this date, let's do a call. And when I do a call, it's like 2-3 hours long, right, minimum, because you can't help someone in 15 minutes discover sessions. You can't help someone in 30-minute quick chats. When you have to help people, it has to be, comprehensive. So take initiatives in whatever little ways that you can. And when your inner creative reaches out, when it reaches out to ask you to create, take initiative to act on it. So take initiative when it comes to helping people. Take initiative when it comes to helping your own self. Take initiative. Then there is something else that I learned, which is find word objectionable to me but not to anyone else. Find God in all men. Again, God here refers to the complex, right? The omnipotent, omnipresent, all seeing, all loving, all accepting entity. Find this person, this entity in everyone around you. Rather than being judgy pants, I just judged people. Anyway, hypocrisy aside, rather than being a judgy pants, what you can do is you can just be self-judgment instead. Instead of finding faults in everyone around you and everything around you, you can find faults in yourself, make yourself better, and instead of judging people, just look at everyone as a god or whatever you like to have faith in, and just respect them. Then we have develop habits to control your life. So, little known fact about me, I help people with their productivity. I don't really market that because I don't have to anymore. I get referrals, and that is how I get employed. So, I don't really have to market that aspect of my professional life. But I help people with their productivity. And one of the things that we do, me and my business partner, is we analyze the routine the person has. We analyze everything that they do in their day generally, and we recognize patterns, and these patterns oftentimes are so destructive, like you don't even realize how destructive of an effect your routine can have on you. So when this is one thing the book teaches you, okay? Develop habits to control your life. You have to recognize the destructive patterns in your day-to-day life. You have to address them, and you have to define and design a daily routine that makes you more creative, more productive. If you don't do that, the only person who suffers is you. Okay? So, amazing thing to learn from the book. Have a routine, a holistic routine that works for you. Keyword being works for you. Don't follow blind advice. Try and try till you figure out a formula. Then, something else to learn from the book, power of the divine will. So something willed us into existence. Okay, the Rig Veda, in Sanskrit, of course, tells you God comes after creation. Okay, I'm not even paraphrasing. Literally says this in Sanskrit. So even the ancients, even the ancient wisdom kind of showcases. Okay, it showcases how creation was willed into existence by something. We don't know what that is, but there is some cosmic entity. You can give it a metaphysical name like God or nature or whatever. You can try to understand it. God particle, the Higgs boson, whatever. You can assign whatever makes you feel comfortable as a terminology to it. But there is a divine will in existence that allows us to survive, right? It could be Mother Earth. So, this power of divine will is essentially a realm of infinite possibilities. This is where discoveries happen, miracles happen, all the good stuff. So, you should have faith in this thing, that the fact that you exist means you have purpose. And you might wonder, I am not doing anything, I'm just sitting and watching Netflix all day. What is my purpose? You definitely have a purpose. Okay, that purpose could be knowing what shows are good or not good on Netflix. Doesn't matter, you're not purposeless. That is all I'm trying to imply. So have faith in yourself and in the world you live in, and know that you exist for a reason. And if ever you feel like I should not exist, this is where you have to have faith. Have faith in whatever divine entity you like, that they have you alive for a reason. Then, none other thing the book teaches you is the ocean of abundance. Like there is abundance all around us, even if our leaders, media, teachers, everyone tells us that things are dying out and all of that. And yes, we do have global warming and a species dying out issue right now. I understand that. However, We exist in an ocean of abundance in the grand scheme of things, right? The world is an ocean of infinite possibilities. But this is why 3-4 billionaires are trying to go to Mars, right? They are seeking some impossibility and turning it into a possibility. So the world is full of abundance. You just limit yourself by whatever converging lens that you use. And for a successful, holistic, blah blah blah, whatever term you want to use, life, you do not want to do that. Okay? You have to have trust in the ocean of abundance. You have to have trust that if you seek, you're going to receive. And then you have to start seeking. You can't just sit on your couch and be like, I will go to Mars, crunch, crunch. No, that's not how it works. You have to, participate as well. So, ocean of abundance, it exists. It can become accessible to you. And one thing that is offered here as a way to access the ocean of abundance is practicing meditation. Okay? And meditation, I know everyone talks about it, and everyone talks about it for a reason. It is really powerful. It helps you become calmer, it helps you deal with things in a much better way. So, if you meditate, okay, if you meditate, you're going to have solutions much easier than if you don't. So, you will be able to access the ocean of abundance in a better way if you meditate. So the book goes into a lot of details about that. The reason why I'm not discussing the details of the book is it involves Kriya Yoga and aspects of it, which many people, including me, will roll their eyes like that. I did roll my eyes in many places, like my body will disappear and materialize 16,000 miles away. I mean, it's hard to digest. I know I asked you to be open to possibilities, and I am, but it's hard to digest at times, right? So that's why I'm not going in the details of it, because I don't think I understand all of it myself yet. So the day I do, and I'm definitely going to reread the latter part of the book, which goes into like these specific details about Kriya Yoga and meditation and concentration and all of that. So I'm going to urge you to read that for yourself, right? Uh, Here's where I want to do like a little disclaimer. I know I just asked you to have a little faith in the world around you. Unfortunately, like meditation is something that a lot of people have monetized. And I totally respect that. I understand hustle to survive, all that. When you select your meditation guide, if you do plan to go on the money route, be very careful not to step into problematic zones, because yes, this is unfortunately become too capitalized of a market, so to speak. So meditate. There are guided meditation YouTube playlists that you can access for free. If you have trouble meditating alone, you can just lie down and listen to one sound while breathing comfortably, lying down, sitting up. I personally like to do it in a headstand way because it does two things: exercise, and my only focus is do not fall on your head. So I technically become thoughtless in thinking just that, which is do not fall on your head. So find whatever works for you in terms of the way of meditation. You have to concentrate while you meditate. So it's like killing two birds, two very nice, plumpy, fluffy birds with one stone. And the another thing is the penultimate thing, second last thing that I learned from the book is happiness. Okay, success is ultimately happiness. You can have all the wealth in the world, and you could be the unhappiest person in the world. What's the point of that success? So when you are chasing success, when you are chasing the hustle, this has become very important of a point in our hustle culture. Know that if you are not happy in what you do, there is a problem in whatever it is that you are doing, and you have to address that. If you can't address it on your own, get help. Right? Lots of coaches available online, lots of people who are willing to talk to you, help you figure things out. Just seek, and ye shall find. So remember that the ultimate measure of success is happiness, and that should be a priority for you. No matter how unproductive financially happiness seems, it is very important for survival and for your stress levels. And last thing, okay, let divine power guide you. So, divine power again, whatever you prefer. For me, it's nature. So, you can keep taking and taking and taking and taking from the divine power, and it will keep giving you more. So keep taking, keep asking. Don't hesitate. Don't stop yourself from seeking. Okay? And when this thing is given to you, let it guide you to whatever it is that you are doing. Because almost every solution is right there in front of you, waiting to be discovered and or invented. Okay, so you just have to look, seek, and ye shall find. I think that's the best way I could summarize this. So, and the autobiography of Yogi, uh, definitely 10 on 10 recommendation from me on so many fronts. All right, and if you haven't read the book, you should definitely read the book. Okay, and if you have read the book, let me know in the comments here or in my blog, because I'm going to upload this video to YouTube and then I'm going to link it to my blog. So yeah, I'm gonna restate this, that the link to my blog is mentioned in the comments. Okay, the blog summarizes the entire book in a written form. I still haven't edited it. There will be grammar issues because I literally wrote the whole thing in 1 hour. I haven't had the time to edit. I will also make an infographic summarizing the whole thing. So I will share all of that tomorrow in a LinkedIn post. But if you want to check out all this blah that I've done in, I think, how many words? In 2006 words. You Then you can just check out that link to the blog. And as my ring light has gone out of power, it has run out of power. I think now is the best time to end this live. I think nobody had any questions, so to speak. Some people definitely commented, but yeah, I think there aren't any questions. I'm going to end the live. I'm going to see you soon in the next one. This time with fiction discussions. We're going to discuss two books. Madeline Miller's Circe or Kaki, however you want to pronounce it, and the Song of Achilles. I think I will definitely cry during that live. So coming soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe day after, I don't know, I haven't made my mind. We're going to discuss two books, fiction books, The Song of Achilles and Circe. These are historical fictions written by Madeline Miller. They'll touch your heart, they'll touch your soul. They will be books that you will read in one sitting like this, because, oh my God, what happened next? Oh my God, what happened next? Oh my God, I recognize that name. And this interpretation is totally awesome. This is an effect I think you can recreate with Amish's Immortals of Meluha, because you're gonna love identifying characters from Shiv Puran in that book. So yeah, coming soon. Two fiction books. I might also sneak in Immortals of Meluha, because it's a great book into the life. But see you soon. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all well. And if there's anything I could do to help, ever reach out. Okay? I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to connect you to people I know who could help. And yeah, I'm going to roll the final video credits. See you soon. Bye bye.